Welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about civic engagement and sending Northern California water to Southern California. My guest is Susan Eggman, a member of the State Assembly from Stockton, which is in the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
So let's start off with civic engagement. You are the chair of a select committee on civic engagement, and I guess that means getting people to talk about public policy and act on it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think reality TV has taken the center place in our life versus civic dialogue. So I am very interested in how do we get people more connected to actually what is going on. People say, well, I don't vote, government doesn't work. And I always want to say, what does that mean? What would it look like if it were working? Would you drive on roads? Would your kids go to schools? Would you play in parks? Because all of those things are evidence of government working. So we had one committee in Sacramento, and now we're going to have another hearing in Los Angeles, just to really, what are the best practices to get people more engaged, more involved, more informed about public policy that's actually impacting their lives every single day.
You know, that seems to be the key, because so many people look at public policy through a prism of politicians.
Yes.
They don't like politicians, they're disillusioned with government, they believe their vote doesn't count, and that elections therefore don't matter. Well, elections do matter, and they have consequences.
Tremendously. And so one of the other things, if I may just kind of switch over to the other topic, is the Delta tunnels. Okay. This idea of taking water from Northern California through the Delta, which already happens. That is how Southern California gets their water. But to build two giant tunnels right through the center to take water to Southern California without creating one extra drop of water. It's the governor's plan. It is at the starting $18 billion to start, and we all know that oftentimes budgets run over. So I have a proposal put forth that says we shouldn't do this unless we have a vote of the people. That people are informed that in Southern California their water rates will go up in order to pay for this. I mean, that's the plan. Right. And that potentially their property taxes could go up, because this was pre-Prop 13 as a result of this plan. Right. So when people say, yeah, build the tunnels and we want more water, I don't know that people are fully informed about how they'll be paying for that water once it comes down. So that's the idea about the civic. Right. Let's find out more, and then let's actually vote on it.
Well, we should say that the Brown administration maintains that you don't have to have a legislative vote or a public vote to do this proposal, the Twin Tunnels proposal. There is an initiative that would accomplish much the same thing, that would require, if it passed, a public vote. But you're trying to get it through the legislature, and you know where most of the political power is. It's Southern California. That has the population. How do you get Southern California legislators to vote for something like this when the Metropolitan Water District is forward trying to push this to go through?
Well, I mean, I think through this very process of having the dialogue, as it stands now, the legislature is clearly just bypassed. A vote of the people is totally bypassed, and I don't know how informed all of the Southern California Assembly members are. I mean, they don't live on the Delta like I do, so it's not a constant source of conversation. Right. And that's part of it, is let's have the conversation. Is this a valuable use of $18 billion of taxpayer money? And people say, well, they're not all taxpayers. Well, they're living here and they're paying taxes, so they're taxpayers. Right. Is who is going to pay for this? Is that a good idea? Or I was lucky enough to go last year to Australia to study their drought and the recycling water they've done, conserving of the water they've done. There's a lot of different things that we could do than to develop $18 billion worth of infrastructure that doesn't increase our water supply.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much. We're out of time. Susan Eggman, member of the Assembly from Stockton, but we're certainly going to watch the progress of your legislation in the months ahead. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Steve.
And thanks to our viewers for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable.